up with it, YouTube?
We're coming back just for a quick old story time, okay? Because we have so many stories. Like, this has sparked so many memories in our head.
We're going to dive right into it because you kind of hear about the Kingdom Hall and it sounds like it's super serious all the time, which it is some serious situation, but it's some circus activity to go on inside the hall.
That you will never forget. Yeah. You're just like...
You got somebody you want to tell some stories about, right?
Yeah, I do. I want you to go first.
All right, I'll go first. All right, let's dive into, let's see, this certain elder. Now, this is so we don't get in trouble, get sued, nothing like that.
We're not saying any names.
We won't say no names. Now, if it's anybody from my city that, you know, was around at this time, it was a certain elder. Now, if you met this elder, I'm trying not to bust out laughing because I'm viewing him.
Every time he tells the story, he starts cracking.
It's wild. All right, so it's a certain elder. He's not an elder no more, but he was back in the 90s. He's a brother, still a brother to this day. If you met him, you instantly would be like, now he's nothing against, you know, that community. He's very, same-sex orientation type of fellow. I don't know if I can say the word without getting flagged, but if he's very if you met him, he's very, hey girl, and like side to side, like one of those, like you would meet him and be like, Jehovah's Witnesses is not allowed to be homosexuals, but you know, but this is like a slip on in the thing in the congregation. Yeah. There are a lot of men that you meet and instantly like,
you know,
like, come on, dude. Yeah. But it's like, no, he's a brother. He doesn't practice. He's not that way.
They make him do the whole like strong power like religious group thing and say basically pray the gay away.
Yeah, so basically you could have been one and became a Jehovah's Witness, and anybody with common sense could be like, this dude is obviously, you know, but in that world, no. All right, so this brother,
especially being an elder.
Yeah, like him being an elder. So the tricky thing, he had family. They have a real big family in our city. And there were other people in the elder body that were his cousins and brothers. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, his wife kept mentioning to the brothers, my husband, I caught him in the bed with another man. And they kept sweeping it under the rug, and he was going out of town to these parties, to these worldly, basically, you're not a Jehovah's Witness, you worldly. He was going to these worldly parties for gay men, like on the weekends, and she kept telling the brothers about it. And they kept sweeping under the rug. And the thing, everybody else that grew up around him knew, like, oh yeah, he's a little, like, on the down low. But nobody ever caught him doing nothing. His wife kept complaining.
Wife did?
Yeah, so his wife kept complaining about it over and over. And they kept sweeping under the rug, went and investigated. Now,
They do that to the women. They do that to the women.
Yeah, like the complaints are just like, yeah, whatever. Now, things end up hitting the fan. He got caught on the news trying to solicit an undercover cop. And it was on the news, and I can't say what he got caught doing or saying, but it was very, very, very graphic. If you want to know, you can always inbox us because I can say it there. But I don't want to get flagged on YouTube. But he made a very, very nasty, dark request to the cop. And but this brother, he ended up getting reinstated, and he's known. He's a super cool brother. Everybody know him. He's real popular. It's just that you would be like, oh, wait, this dude's obviously not heterosexual. Like, how is this going on in this congregation? But that's just how that stuff is.
Yes. Man, the Jehovah's Witness organization is so wild sometimes. Like, I'm telling you, if you know a Jehovah's Witness and they got the tea, there are some crazy stories out there. Like, whole elders' bodies getting in trouble because they were sleeping with a woman. Like, we had a story like that. Like, a whole elder body got in trouble I think it was in our circuit. And like, all the elders were in trouble. The wives were like in it, and it was like some of our friends, their parents were like a part of it or whatever. And it was this one sister that went and like slept with got all these elders in trouble.
This stuff, it's no different.
Babe, she's the one who was sibling to that guy.
Oh yeah.
Also, yes. I have another story. I want to tell it, so I'm not going to tell this one, but I'm going to tell this other story about an elder. And this one literally used to make me and my family mad because we went over to their house. We would go over to their house to like eat and stuff. They used to cook really good. But we'd go to the house, and the elder, the guy, used to call his wife slave girl. He called her a name. It was, I want to say it was Hagar. And he called her, he's like, do you know what that name means in the Bible? And we're all like, no, you know? He's like, it means slave girl. And he would like boss her around, like, go shut that door, go do this, like in front of people. And we don't play. Okay, listen, my mom is Latina. She does not play that. Okay, like you're gonna show her some respect.
Right, especially in front of company, like
especially in front of company, like, who are you talking to? Like, why are you talking to me like I'm beneath you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's
elder stuff.
And she would just laugh it off. Like, I feel so bad for the wife because she would just laugh everything off. She's one person that like I really wish would wake up, because you meet Jehovah's Witnesses who, they seem like they're kind of just faking the funk, you know what I mean? Where they're like fake genuine and like fake happy and, you know, that kind of thing. But she was not like that. Like, she was such a pure person, and she was in the organization forever. And I wish so badly she would wake up. But anyway, so she married him, and he's like bossing her around, like, yeah, I mean slave girl. I thought that was so freaking funny. Like, that's not funny. I remember my dad being there. My dad was like
like, he done lost his mind.
And my dad is he was a big 6'2" tall black man, okay? But he would never talk to my mom like that. Especially in front of people, talk about some slave girl. What?
Right, that's beneath anything else you can call somebody like a slave. It's like, nobody works for a slave, you at the bottom.
Yeah, but that is the rhetoric of the whole Jehovah's Witness organization, is you are a faithful slave. Faithful and discreet slave.
I wish I could put pictures and footage up because all I could do is like explain these people. It was an elder, which a lot of these people were no longer elders after a while. And we never knew why this elder got removed. We heard rumors it's because him and his wife, I feel like a lot of people do this. He'd be telling his wife the tea going on.
I would want to know the tea. I'd be like, what's going on?
Right, but this brother, he was I thought he was entertaining, but certain sisters, it was one of my friend's mom. I'm going to say this. I can say his name, my homie Mike, because he woke up way before we did. But his mom was like, you know, Jeff, I don't like brother so he's a pervert. And so all of his talks would be, somehow he would tie in sex
into the talk.
Into all his talks, even like the midweek meeting 5-minute talk, it would be something sexual, and he was just a freaky dude, man. Like, he was cool, but he was just strange. But she was like, he is such a pervert, like, and he rubbed me the wrong way. And like everything is so sexual with him. And one time my granddad said, man, we was in the car out service, and he said, you know what, Paulie? And he grabbed my granddad's thigh like this, and my granddad was looking at him like.
And his granddad is such a germaphobe.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? But yeah, you got some characters in there. He was a freaky man.
Oh my gosh, there are so many characters and so many crazy stories that happen.
What about, you ever have people? Well, some of them were like kind of crazy, and some would just woke that it was a cult. You would have situations happen in these meetings that would disrupt. Look, so what? I won't say his name. It was one. He was like a brother, active, and his mental health went downhill. And he would show up to the hall, and you just knew something was about to go down. So one time he had on a like a work shirt buttoned up with the sleeves cut off, and he came in, and he would like sometime like jump up and blurt out, or he'd be flicking off the brothers at the platform. And one time he came. Anybody from my hall or that area watching this know who I'm talking about. He came one time with a 2x4, and he was like, I'm looking for Thumper. He was like, who is Thumper? He was talking about, I don't know where the name came from, the freaky brother. But he showed up with a 2x4. Yeah, and he was looking for him. Like, just randomly came to the hall, and the elders would have to go out and kind of like deal with him. My granddad was always a mediator, because everybody liked my granddad. He would just kind of talk him down, like, relax, blah, blah, blah.
Because he's so cool. He's so chill.
Yeah, but man, he came up there, and it was the one brother, we had an elder that was super, I had talked about him, the one I had to study with. He's like probably 5'6". He's not a big dude. And he came out there, and he's real stern, real straightforward like this. And he came out to the rescue, and he said, watch out, man. You too light in the pants. And it wasn't funny at the moment, but everybody else was kind of like... Because this wasn't the crazy brother wasn't no small dude. He was like at least 300 pounds. Yeah. Probably about 5'11". He wasn't no small guy.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, stuff happened at the hall all the time.
We had a guy like that, and he used to. Well, not like that, not that crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember this. I don't know if he was a brother or if he was a study, but he would give these like really long, in-depth, like crazy comments. Like it would be like 2-minute long comments, which now looking back, I wish I could like hear them all again. But he would just be like blabbering on, like, yeah, and then blah 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 blah.
Oh, and they try to wrap you up.
Man, he would just talk like this crazy stuff, and he would have scribbles all over his paper, like a little quote here, a little quote here, a little quote here, like it was just a page full of words everywhere. And after his comment, everybody would just kind of be quiet because we'd be like,
what just
happened? But this one time, he came into the Kingdom Hall, and it was in the middle of the meeting, and it was the same elder that was giving the talk that I was talking about. And he stood up and he goes, liar! It went up to the front and was like, you guys are liars. And I never seen him from that day again, but like the whole Kingdom Hall just kind of froze. It was like
what just happened?
Like, what just happened? I just want to know what he found out. Like, what did he find out? Because he seemed like one of those people that were kind of on the spectrum, you know, but you know how those people are like really smart, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like he did a deep dive into his lessons and stuff and into the Bible, and then he just found out it was some bull, and like he went up to the front of everybody. Liar!
Yeah, and that's how you're gonna look regardless, trying to tell them that this is not the truth. You're gonna look crazy.
Yeah, true that.
Final story on here, and we're gonna wrap it up. So I'm gonna put this up on the screen. This is a sister. I'm gonna block out her name, but as you can see here, I have on a Yankees hat and a necklace and a shirt, and she reads, basically calling it thug gear.
Yeah.
And she was one of those wives that was married to a elder with a lot of say-so. And she was just super full of herself. Regular pioneer. Feel like she need to be in everybody's business. Like and you got to remember, like, come on, this organization, you don't have that much say-so as a sister.
Yeah.
Like, you overstepping boundaries as far as this Jehovah's Witness world.
Yeah.
Now, for her to mention something about my dress and grooming, guess what happened to her? This was one of the funniest episodes at any meeting. So this is when they start, this is the first time we had to merge with a congregation, and it was because they was having construction done at their hall. And at this hall is where my aunt, which is my granddad's sister, and her grandkids, my cousins, we all the same age, all get put in the same hall, and we were all pretty much double lifers. Like, we were witnesses, but at the same time, like, this the cousin that was always, we getting in trouble at school, kicking it, like, we like dark humor, we cuss, all of that stuff, and then we be at the hall. So we get put into the same hall. Now, anyways, in this meeting, everything just went left. It was just, the local needs was something wild. I ain't even gonna go into detail about that. And then this sister that made that comment on my Facebook post years back, she had a talk, her and another sister, and she's standing up and she's wearing a slit. And in the middle of this talk, I don't know if it was bobby pinned or something happened to where her skirt just whoosh dropped, and you hear the whole hall go. And it just went. It was
so
like,
embarrassing.
And it's like you could in our hall. We went to like a black hall, and it was in the hood. So most of us were kind of from like either you grew up a witness or you at least grew up in the area. So we all kind of what they call urban, and everybody's face was just kind of like.
They wanted to laugh so
bad. Like, we wanted to laugh so bad.
And
she was so embarrassed, and the sister up there, like, helped her. Even her, and what was so funny, the sister she with, she still is a friend on my Facebook to this day. So, hopefully she wake up soon, because most of the witnesses, they kick you to the curb. But she was like, her reaction was like, girl? Like that. As soon as it happened, and she helped her pull it up. And it was like, that's what you get for speaking on somebody's dress and grooming, because now you done showed your drawers to the whole hall.
Draws to the heart.
Right.
That is so embarrassing. That used to be like one of my fears, is like a dress mishap on stage.
Yeah, in front of all these
or
people.
going off the stage. That's why I literally would not wear heels if I was having a talk or something, or they would be literally this big, because the amount of people that have fallen from off stage or have fallen, like there has
we
been
got
so
one
many
of those. One more story.
It's not gonna be me, okay?
Forget that. It was a brother that he was a tall, goofy brother, would make it even funnier. And they had like a little gap in the stage somewhere by the steps. and he came off and his foot got caught, and he was tall and slinky, so his arms did like that, and he fell into the front row. Boom. And it's just situations like that. You don't like. Sometimes it's laughter at the heart, but when it's something serious, like somebody falling, it's
everybody's
just
worried.
it's
Like
just
everybody rushes over there and make sure that they're okay and stuff, as they should. But
yeah,
man, that's something fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of stories that happen at the heart that don't get talked about. You hear about a lot of the negatives, like the bad stories, but then you just got a lot of humor.
Yeah.
Like some of this stuff is a joke.
Yeah. So man, there's a lot of humor.
It is.
We have a ton of other stories, you know. But man, they used to do like orgies and stuff at the Assembly, Kingdom Hall, parking lots, like crazy stuff that happens in the Kingdom Hall. Like
just like any other religion or group, like this is not something special where bad or wild stuff don't happen.
It just gets swept under the rug and like you don't hear about it, but we hear about it within the community. You know about it.
Yeah,
you know?
So we just putting it on YouTube. But yeah, make sure y'all tap in for the next story time because we got more coming on. Yeah. So make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, and make sure y'all subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.